I believe you are the guest which I have got on so far, and also in the future as well, who will be most closest and related to me in regards to dream, career aspirations, vision, journey.
Motivational Ange.
Motivational speaker with a stutter.
2 collabs done so far. We've done one shot, and we've also done what is your life-changing message.
If I'm just giving this gift to only my family, my friends around me, I'm rubbing off so many people in the world that need this gift. Because like I'm telling you right now, somebody out in the world every single day needs a word of inspiration, a word of motivation, a word of impact. Just something.
If you pause on every single word, I don't think that's really going to help. I think
It's true.
you are the same person which we see in the videos. You don't change. You don't try to act around different people. I sometimes use words to become more fluent. So that's the best way to say it. In media, there's always a way of making people who stutter look dumb.
Stuttering is
relax. I don't know why they said that so many times. Relax. I'm not sure why.
There was a point in my life where I almost cried, bro. Almost cried. I'm in class. It's about to give a speech. I'm looking at the crowd. Everyone's looking at me, but nothing is coming out, bro. Nothing is coming out. It's just stuck, you know. And you see kids laughing at you, mocking you. That kills you.
When I used to stutter, people used to say stuff, but that guy right there, even though he was naughty and bad, when somebody said something like that to me, he said, if you make fun of Dilpreet, you have to make fun of me because I stutter as well. And it was just...
That's a good friend, yeah.
Have you ever had someone, when you're trying to speak, they finish the sentence or word?
I don't like it. I don't like that, Dilpreet. I don't like it.
It is 2025 and we are coming off a great launch of Desire to Inspire podcast. We have already had some incredible episodes and guests already on so far. I really do value all your support and all your feedback over the last year. And this episode of 2025, the first episode of 2025, this guest is the most similar to me. I'm really excited about this episode. Motivational Ange, motivational speaker with a stutter. Enjoy. Ange, 3 years in the making, 2 collabs done so far. We've done one shot, and we've also done what is your life-changing message. And I believe you are the guest which I have got on so far, and also in the future as well, who will be most closest and related to me in regards to dream, career aspirations, vision, journey. And I'm really excited, I'm really hyped, I'm really pumped just about this podcast. And tell me a bit about yourself. Tell the audience a bit about your journey. When did it start? And just a bit about you. Quick announcement. Ange's first ever ebook is officially out. Make sure to grab the copy just in the link in this description.
Thank you very much for your question, Dilpreet. That's a very, very good question. And first of all, I would like to first give you some words of thanks for allowing me to join your podcast. And because your podcast has to do with so much impact, and I'm always someone that's for impact. I'm always for impact, and impact is my life because I believe that we in this world for impact. That's the only way to live life right, is to provide impact. And to answer your question, my name is Ange, and I'm from Cameroon, and right now I'm 20 years old, right? So this journey of me speaking started a long time ago. I was speaking offline before I was even speaking online. I was Motivational Ange offline before I was Motivational Ange online. I've always had a gift of words. People call me a wordsmith, because I know how to use some words to drive home certain points, to drive home certain effects, to drive home certain transformation, be it to inspire somebody, be it to motivate somebody, be it to heal a broken heart, be it to um to speak life into somebody that needs life spoken into them, because in this world, words carry power, and with great power comes great result, and with great power comes great responsibility. And since I've got that power in my hands, I know how to use words. So I've always had that desire, yes, desire to use my words to impact lives. So there was a time, there came a time in my life when I was like, now it is time to take this gift to the world, because I didn't come in the world just for some people around me. I I came into the world for people that are around me, for the entire world. So if I'm just giving this gift to only my family, my friends around me, I'm rubbing off so many people in the world that need this gift. Because like I'm telling you right now, somebody out in the world every single day needs a word of inspiration, a word of motivation, a word of impact. That's just something. And I I know who I am. And I would be doing the word, doing the world a service by keeping it offline, actually bring it online. And that's a way for me to transfer my gifts on a bigger scale. So in 2021, that's when I made the conscious choice to start YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and all these accounts. And I think it was around the 2nd of January or the 3rd, but it was somewhere around there. And yeah, from there, that was a moment where the world knew Motivational Ange. But Motivational Ange was there way before 2021, if that makes sense. Yeah.
That's such a fascinating story because I thought you say this much motivation, you say this much inspiration. Like I thought in your childhood in class, you would have been something like that. And as you mentioned before, just as you mentioned before, just as you mentioned before, just like offline and like online, because you mentioned those two words, it it shows that you it it shows that how you are in private or how you are in public. So from people watching your videos, that is how you are in real life, and that's just great to see because
Thanks, man.
it's that genuinity, it's that authenticity. And I think that is what we both need to show more in our journey, because I think we are both trying to become motivational speakers. But what makes this so different is motivational speakers with a stutter. That makes it more challenging, but it makes it that much more cool, awesome, exhilarating, just all those fancy words. And I think that's just a really cool story because I really liked how you said like offline and like online, because it just shows you are the same person which we see in the videos. You don't change, you don't try to act around different people different ways, and that's awesome to hear and see. And you mentioned, and I want to circle back to this point just later on in the podcast. You mentioned about just you mentioned about just the like impact and the desire. So I think that works well to the next question, which goes, what is your burning desire? What is your burning desire? We are continuing the tradition of Desire to Inspire podcast. So make sure, let us know in the comments below, what is your burning desire?
It's a very, very big question. I'll try my best to answer it in a very, concise, continuous way as possible. So, I think like I speak for everyone. Like when I say this, I believe everyone's burning desire is to be everything that God wants them to be and do. Is to be the best version of themselves in every single aspect possible. Because who wants to be the most average, the most average version of themselves when the best is possible? And also think about this in this way. Everybody wants to live a life that validates their existence. And how do you how do you validate your existence? It is by living a life of purpose, living a life that brings worth to your life, living a life that brings value to your life. Because of your existence, because you exist, that means that there's something that's attached to your birth. That means that there's purpose attached to your birth. That means that there's a gift attached to your birth. That means that there's something great attached to your birth that the world can benefit from, that the world can consume from. Let me tell you this: nobody comes into this world to just be there for themselves. Yes, you are living in this world, right? But you aren't here for yourself. You are here for people. You're here to serve people, and you got to figure out what it is that you need, and you have to figure out what it is that you have to serve to the world. You can't live in the world like an NPC, a non-playable character. That's very pathetic. It's like an insult, because it's like, why did God give me the chance to exist? God gave you a chance to exist, to make His world a better place. Think about this: everything that comes into existence has something to do, be it from a cup, be it from a pen. If the pen doesn't write anymore, what's its use? You take the pen and check the pen in the bin. If the tree doesn't give you oxygen, you take the tree and cut it off because it's taking up space but not giving any value. You can't be a placeholder. You weren't born like in this world to be a placeholder. You're born in this world to hold your place on earth, yes, but also to use that place to spread out your impact, to do something in this world. But now to answer your question your question more specifically, my burning desire is to be that positivity in a negative world, to bring hope to the hopeless, to heal the broken heart, to speak the truth in a world full of lies, to basically use my gift of words, my gift of speaking, to bring about transformation in the world, to unite the world, to unite the world together, yes. Because as I said, I think in the start, with great power comes with great power comes great responsibility. Everybody has a power in their hands, right? My power is speaking. I know like how to speak. Your power could be singing. Your power could be entertaining. And truth is, if you withhold that power, you, you, you do the world a disservice. Because I've seen people come out and say, by listening to that song, it saved my life. By listening to this man speak, it saved my life. By watching this man's by watching this person's comedy video, it saved my life. Your gift is to impact the world and to save lives. Your gift is to change lives, change nations, and to change the world. You need to realize who you are. You are not ordinary. And it pains my heart to see so many people making themselves ordinary by living a life that is purposeless. If you live ordinary, then you might as well just ask God to take you back, because then He would rather send somebody that would live life a life that is meant to be lived in a specific way. And I don't mean that in a very rude way. Like, I mean that in a way to make people realize that you can't just breathe. Use the oxygen that's in your lungs to do something. So the burning desire that I can summarize in one sentence, it is to live a life that validates your existence, and that is to live a life of purpose. Yeah, I hope I answered the question. Yeah.
That is a fantastic answer, fantastic response, I would say. And you went on a motivational speaking role because there was like 4 or 5 topics covered. So that was just awesome to see, because, and that is a point I want to get back to later on in the episode, because I want to see how that creative mind comes. But I just want to save that for just a bit later on in the podcast. And you mentioned about God, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you was the first one to reach out to me and to say my name is Ange. I'm also driving to become a motivational speaker with us, Stutter. I've seen your content. I'd like to stay connected, and you just confirmed it right now. And I think that makes me believe more in God.
It's true.
The reason why is it is the timing, because you started the journey 2nd of January 2021. I started it in January 2021, but I think it was more in the middle of so it was probably 14th or 15th of January 2021. And then within 2 weeks, you connected with me straight away, and I was shocked, because I think it is just God's timing, because that doesn't look like a coincidence. That looks like something which was planned. Right. It seemed like all in God's plan.
It's really okay. I think it happens for nothing. Yeah. Everything in life happens for a reason. I believe God does what God does. Trust God always. We can plan, but God always decides. Yeah.
That's it. I think it's all about that faith, and I do believe, because with me, I'm Sikh and you're Christian, I believe, so it's a different religion, but we both believe in a God, someone someone who has a plan for us, and then we have to try to either follow that plan or make them proud because of our existence and so on.
Yeah.
So
And also, like, what's also like your opinion on what's your opinion on people that don't believe in God? Like, what's your take on it? Because I just want to say something, but I want to feel you out.
that's a really interesting question. I think, I don't know, to say this really nicely, I don't know how they live, just thinking like that, just going about it like that, because they have to, because I think life is created for a certain purpose, as you just mentioned. And if you don't have, if you if you don't have a purpose, or if you're not following God, then I don't think life's really worth it, to be fair, because there's someone you have to do it for right at the end. And with that question as well, I would love to see their take on what happens after we pass, after we die, and so on. Because if they don't believe in God, what do they think happens after that? But
After life, that's true.
I think, to go on to a different point is, I think people do believe in God, but they believe in there's different religions, different cultures, and so on. And I think there's more people who believe in God than people who don't believe in God. And I'm not sure if it's because they're just copying what their parents have done. I don't know if it's society right now, the groups they have joined, or they might just not care or think too much like into it. But with me, I don't try to force people to believe in this, believe in that. But if somebody did ask for my opinion, I do believe there's someone just up there watching who we have to make proud, and so on. But I do want to hear your response to this.
Response to right, Dilpreet, thank you so much. That was a very good response to the question. But like the way like I see it is, in life, everything is made in two, right? There's boy, there's girl, there's hot, there's cold. If the devil exists, if so much negativity exists, that means there's got to be a counteracting force to that. So therefore, God has to exist because of the fact that so much evil exists. There's always an opposing force. Nothing can exist like without the other. So that's how like I see it. So that's how I can tell somebody that doesn't believe in God. This is how you know that God exists. Like for example, you can see that when the wind blows, that the trees are moving, that the leaves are shaking from side to side, but you don't see the actual wind, but you can feel it. I don't know, but God is something that you can't see, but you can just feel that God is here. There are some things that happen in your life that you will that you can just be like, this is God. It can't be anything else. I can't see God, but I can feel God. It's like the wind analogy. Yes. Yeah. So that's my take.
That's a really good take, because I wouldn't have thought about it in that kind of perspective, because that does make sense. There's always two, good and bad, and all those type of forces. So I never thought of it like that. And I do just agree with the spiritual side of things. I definitely just agree with that too, because I think it's like life changing just events, like life changing like events. And sometimes it isn't due to chance or coincidence, such as you connecting with me. Like we both set up recently accounts. We weren't following similar accounts, but you still managed to reach out to me. And since then, we've done two collaborations. We have done a podcast right now as well, and maybe in the future we could be on stage and so on. So it's just crazy, just insane.
It's true, man.
It's true. Yeah.
Sorry, God.
It's
Sorry, God.
that's it. Yeah, that's it. It is worth pointing out, whatever imperfection you may have, never let others treat you differently or make you doubt yourself. We are all unique and stand out in our very own way. So just embrace it. Make it count. Let's get back into it. Yeah, let me just go more into the topic which I'm most looking forward in this podcast episode, which is stuttering.
Yeah.
We both stutter. With me, I think I stutter more in high pressurized situations, and I think it's things in like presentations and just the interviews, and maybe just the bit of his podcast as well. But I think people sometimes come like up to me and say, Dilpreet, you don't really stutter too much in your videos. And I say to them, I've been doing those videos for
a long
3
time.
years now, too long. And I think it's just you get back confidence, you get back comfortability just in doing it that many times. And I think the same thing's going to happen with this podcast episodes. I am going to do more and more, and less of it's going to show. But in this episode, I'm trying to. What I found out recently is that I sometimes use words to become more fluent.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the best way to say it. And I use words like, just, and I'm trying not to use them in this podcast now, because this is the best opportunity for me, because I'm with someone who is literally a different version just of me in just a different country. And I'm just trying to be authentic with it. And I want to ask your take. How would you define stuttering or stammering? And also, when did your stutter start? Did it start at a certain period? Did it start when you went more into this dream in 2021? When did it start, and how would you define stuttering?
Oh, it's a big question, man. It's a big question. So stuttering, the way I would define it is, stuttering is it's a different style of speaking by a unique individual to convey okay, wait a minute. Okay, hold on. So stuttering to me is a different style of speaking, yes, by a unique individual to convey a message that may be prolonged, and it also moves away from the tonality of speech but they are still excellent. Hold on. Communicators, just with a little bit of repetitiveness in the speech. Okay, so one more time so that it flows. So to me, stuttering is a different style of speaking that is used by a unique individual to convey a message that may be prolonged or delayed, but they are still effective communicators just with a little bit of repetitiveness in their speech. I think that's a good definition to it. All right. And also, when did it start for me? This started a very long time ago. I was stuttering since I can remember. Since I was a very, very small boy. I've been to many speech therapists, but these things don't help though. You know what I mean? Because like the way like I see it, yes, you can teach me some techniques on how to maybe minimize it, such as take a deep breath before, every single word. But I'm not trying to be huffing and puffing the whole time. No, no, that's for me. It's like it's not gonna work because it's too much effort. Imagine like to take a deep breath every single time when they say a word. For me, it's like no, you know. So like the way I say it is that you can't teach somebody to to use their left hand when they are right-handed. It's the same way. Like you can't teach me to speak fluent when I've got what I've got. It's already been put inside my brain. I've got to learn how to embrace it. I've got to learn how to make the most out of it. I've got to learn how to love myself the way I speak. I can't change it. For some people, it does disappear, but for some people, it remains. But if man decides to remain, then so be it. So yeah, I think that answers your question.
That's a really good mindset to it. And that's really funny you mentioned about that speech therapy thing, because I think when I was younger in primary, I had to go to a few speech therapists and they said, deep breath, sit down straight, shoulders back, head up,
Yeah.
pause, take your time, relax. I don't know why they said that so many times. Relax, relax, relax. I'm not sure why. And they said, take a deep breath, relax, pause. But I don't think if you pause on every single word, I don't think that's really going to help. I think
Yeah. It's true.
I take the same exact perspective and point and mentality just as you. I just want to be just authentic in my just in my just in my just in my imperfection. Something which makes me different, something which other people may brand it as a weakness, other people may brand it as something which stops me from getting to those positions. But I just want to be authentic. I want to be genuine, like you. I want to be exactly same mentality, mindset. I don't want to be perfect. I don't want to be fluent because nobody's really fluent, right? Nobody's really fluent. There's people who there's like people who are presidents, they have speeches. They don't always go to plan. They stumble on some words, but no one's perfect. No one's fluent all the time. There is nobody like that. The only person who's fluent is a robot. That is the only person who is fluent. So I really like that point, and it and that goes perfectly into a quote. You quote which you say, which goes, if you stutter, know that what you have to say is so important that you have to say it twice. And that's just an insane, incredible quote which you made. And I just wanted to ask, how did you come up with that quote, with that sentences? How did you come up with that?
Okay. So the way that I came up with that quote was, we use this analogy, right? So when you've got something important to put across, you say it multiple times so that to make sure that the person that's listening to you hears your message, always repeat it multiple times. So and someone that stutters, they may feel like they aren't important. They may feel like they aren't worthy of being listened to, not worthy of attention, because you can feel like they always take time to get their points across. So if you use this analogy, by you repeating yourself multiple times, that must mean that you've got something important to say. So that's a way of me to boost my confidence. So if someone starts, just use this analogy to start to boost your confidence. You are not stupid. You're not dull. You're actually very, very intelligent. It's just you have a different style of speaking that's unique, and it may be prolonged to put across your message, but you're still a very, very good communicator, just with a bit of repetitiveness in your speech. So that's how I came up with the quote. Yeah, I'll put things into perspective.
That's a fantastic explanation just there, because it actually makes so much sense if you think a bit more just into it.
Thanks, Dilpreet. Thanks very
And
much, man.
that's just an awesome quote. And make sure whoever is watching, bookmark it, save it, note it down, write it down. That is a perfect quote for stuttering right there. And that is from our very own motivational Ange right here. So perfect.
Thank you, man.
Awesome. And I wanted to, there's a lot of misconceptions. There's a lot of things about stuttering, about stammering, and there's also negative portrayals of it just on TV, in movies.
Yeah.
Lots of people make fun of it. I think there's this show where I think it's called the 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 like office, the United States edition, and there's a scene where one character said something which is a bit crazy, and then somebody says, "Did you really mean to say that?" And then that person responds, "Did I stutter?" And I think it's a common, people make fun of it. And also there's people like there's also the United States President Biden, his daughters, and there was a video circulating that Donald Trump started to make fun of his daughter and so on. And there's lots of people who daughter. And I think in media, there's always a way of making people who daughter look dumb. People who don't know what they're saying. And it is something which people like me and you are trying to shift by trying to educate the audience, by trying to inform the audience, by trying to just let them know that this is something which we just need a bit of patience, but we are incredible, talented people, and we work hard, we push through our limits, and we keep on going. And I just wanted to ask, have you faced the situation where people have made fun of your daughter, and if you have, how have you dealt with that incident?
I think it opened for the question. So yeah, man. Ever since I was small, I've always had someone make fun of my stutter, be it to mock me, be it to laugh at me, be it to basically reiterate how I talk, to to kind of get to kind of hurt, like, like my feelings, my emotions. But then it got to a point where I was like, enough is enough. Everybody has their own imperfections, and before you can point your fingers at someone's imperfection, look at your own imperfections as well. Nobody is perfect at all. So you got to learn to tell somebody that don't judge at all. I am the way I am, and I can't change it. You are the way you are, you can't change it. There's no point in you making fun of. There's no point in you making fun of somebody's imperfection, and there's no point in me making fun of your imperfections. You have to learn how to set limits of people, boundaries of people. Learn how to tell some people what can go and what can't go. Because if you don't step your feet down, people always give you all kinds of nonsense. Because let me tell you this: you teach people how to treat you. We teach people how to treat you. That's the fact about life. People you always get what you tolerate. And in order to get somebody to respect you, you have to set limits around your life, borders around your life, parameters around your life that mustn't get crossed. So, yes, it was the time in my life that I was getting mocked at, bullied, judged, laughed at, and everything like that. It was painful, but when I decided that enough was enough, that was when it became less. It hasn't disappeared completely because, of course, there are still some people like in the world that obviously walk past you and mock you, walk past you and laugh at you. But where it stops completely is around me, the people that I interact with. It's they stop completely because they know now what flies and what doesn't fly. And you can't joke with somebody's imperfection because you don't know the struggle. Because, let me tell you the story, though. Like, I don't know if you've ever reached this point, but there's a point in my life where I almost cried, bro. Almost cried. I'm in class. It's about to give a speech. I'm looking at the crowd. It was looking at me, but nothing is coming out, bro. Nothing is coming out. It's just stuck, you know. And you see kids laughing at you, mocking you, reiterating what you're saying. Like for example, it, if I can't get out my good morning class and it's stuck, they'll all be mocking you, saying, and that kills you as a person. So the only way that I can tell you on how to handle people that make fun of your stuttering is to put your feet down. Tell them what flies and what doesn't fly. And if they aren't willing to stick to your boundaries, then they're more welcome to live your life. It's as simple as that. So that's how I manage it. And there's also this person is called Steve Harvey. I think like you read about him, Steve Harvey. That's Steve Harvey, man. He inspired me a lot because he also started in school and everything. And there was a story that he brought up that he was in class one day. And then the teacher asked the kids, "What would you like to be when you grow up one day?" And he said he wanted to be a TV presenter, yes. And then the teacher looked at it and laughed at it. She says, "You can't even say your name." And then in front of the entire class, and the entire class mocked an imperfection. But what they didn't know that is that his imperfection isn't a limitation to his greatness. Because look at him now. And right now, he sends back home every single year the TV to the teacher that doubted him. So yeah, that's my take, though. Yeah.
Wow, that's really powerful and deep points in there, takes in there, and I do value you going more into that incident which happened when you was younger. I definitely believe people who are watching right now, the viewers, they will definitely resonate with that. So I really appreciate you for sharing that and being transparent about it. Really do appreciate that so much. So thanks, and and I think when I was in school, when I was in secondary school, so what happened was I was year 7 in one school, and then after we moved house. So I started the next year in a completely different school. Like everybody, you already would have met each other last year. So with me, like I just came in new, 1 year behind everybody else. And when I came in, I didn't used to speak much, but there was a science class I think it was either Thursday or Friday. And the teacher sometimes used to ask people questions. So what does this mean? What is this like element of the periodic table and so on? And with me, I did know it, but it didn't come out, right? And I think why I didn't get too much people judging me was there was someone in the class who also stuttered, who was more of a bad boy, who people respected, who people don't want to make fun of. And when I used to stutter, people used to say stuff, but that guy right there, we, like even though he was naughty and bad, when somebody said something like that to me, he said, if you make fun of Dilpreet, you have to make fun like of me because I stutter as well. And it was just
That's a good friend, yeah.
awesome because he was literally someone who was naughty. He was someone who used to sometimes, he wasn't afraid to, like if teachers disrespected him, he wasn't afraid to say something back. And then he had a bit of a reputation. But I never spoke to him before that, but he jumped in straight away and he helped. And I just couldn't believe it because when I came in, I was shy, introverted. I wasn't speaking, and the only time I was speaking was questions. And that guy jumped in, just awesome. And it just shows that even though people may be perceived as naughty or good, they do jump in and help those who are similar to them. So I do appreciate that person right there. And also, that Steve Harvey point was great, perfect, because I I wanted you to mention something like that because I watch Steve Harvey his speeches lots, and I've heard that story before, and I think right at the end, just to just to I think just to like add on something just a bit like extra to the like end of the story is I think he said that every Christmas he sends this TV to his teacher. So that's crazy. That
It's
is
true, man. Life, man, life has a way of surprising every single person. If you ever doubt somebody because nobody knows, the future.
Perfectly said, Ange. Perfectly said. And I remember he also there was someone in the audience who came to his shows once, and she had a daughter as well. Would you be able to share a bit more into that, or would you want me to talk more into that story?
I think I know like some parts of it because I did post it on my Instagram. I think she was stuttering, yes, and then she wanted some help to minimize her stuttering because she couldn't get a man with the stutter. I think was that I'm like the whole story. Okay, so then eventually Steve Harvey went down his whole history and told about how he was stuttering and how he also um overcame stuttering. And eventually when the girl came back, she wasn't stuttering as much. But also technique that he taught her. I forgot the technique. Wait, so what did Steve Harvey hold on, sorry. So what did Steve Harvey teach her again? because I forgot like the technique.
Yeah, sure. I think you've explained the story pretty well just up until that moment, but I think it was he told her to say what she wanted to say just in her mind 3 times and then say like it out loud. So I think that was the technique he said. So if she wanted to say if she wanted to say good morning, I hope you are doing fine, she would say it 3 times just like in her mind first, and then she would
Yeah.
say it like out loud. And that worked well because I think she came back on the show like a few months later and she was doing it and she
Yeah.
appeared more stuttering a bit less. So you've explained it well, and that was the technique.
You do agree.
Awesome. And yeah, I think I want to ask one more question about stuttering because I think this is one of the podcasts now and in the future that people are going to look back on, people who stutter, people who have just a imperfection. And I just wanted to ask, because with me, I said at the start, I sometimes mask my stutter, which is a weird, bad thing which I
Yeah.
shouldn't do, but it sometimes comes like that. But the words I usually use when I try to minimize it is like and just, and I'm trying to cut them out. But the words which are my trigger words, which I made the video about a few weeks back, are words beginning with A, I, H, and E as well. E. So A, E, H, I, O. So those words, when somebody, if that's somebody's name, if that's a particular word, I sometimes struggle on them just a bit. So I wanted to ask, is there, what are, is there any trigger words for you? Does it depend on the situation? Does it depend on who you are speaking to? How does your stutter
Yeah.
fluctuate? Would your stutter be the same for every single person you meet, or does it depend on the situation and environment?
It's a very good question, though. Very good question. So like my stutter, I think for me, it also depends on this situation, depends who I'm speaking to. It just like depends on a like um on a big amount of reasons. For example, when you speak to for example, when you speak with somebody that knows that you stutter, I think that anticipation of them knowing that you stutter is gonna make you to stutter, you know. So that makes me stutter sometimes. Or or, or for example, if I'm in a very visualized environment, I may stutter. Or sometimes I might even lock up completely, no words will come out. Like, I think will come out. But I've learned to calm myself down in this environment and let myself speak, because I think like the biggest reason why most of us that stutter may lock up, may close up, may not even be able to give out one word is because you fear being it's because you fear being judged. Judged, yes, you fear being judged. So so is that external is that the external force that you're putting upon yourself that locks you up? Because if you speak with pressure on you already, nothing will come out. Think about this. Will you will you be able to walk if you if you tie 1,000 pounds of weights around your legs, you can't walk because it's holding you down. The same thing is you worrying about external opinions and thoughts. It's doesn't weigh down your mouth. Your mouth won't be like your mouth won't even open. Like you'll be speaking, but nothing will come out. That's like the same analogy, the same thought process. So for me, it's I've tried my best to not let any external effects, forces to come into my mind. And that now also allows me now to stutter less in pressurized situations. Because I mean it is a struggle because to speak for stutter it's a struggle. And we think that we are busy embarrassing ourselves, but we aren't actually doing that because everybody has something that they are embarrassed of. But some people just hide it better than others. But the only fact is that our embarrassment, in quotes, is just, it's out there because we're speaking. You see what I mean? So yeah, so that's number one for me. And also, when I speak to somebody that knows that I stutter, I try and tell myself that it's okay. It's okay. Just relax. It's not the end of the world. Even I stutter, it is what it is. I don't control it. I need to be. What I can't control, I need to lose. Because when you try and control what you can't control, you put unnecessary stress on yourself. And thirdly, some words that make me stutter are words that start with an A, an H. For example, how are you? Sometimes I'll struggle on the how, and it's mostly like the vowel sounds, A E I O U. Yeah, you could Dilpreet.
To be honest, I think I'm the exact same with vowels and how like are you, because I sometimes say good morning and then I carry on with it. But so much value there, such a valuable response. And it's worth to mention anticipation. That is something really clever you just mentioned. And you said that when people are expecting you to say just the word, that's when you stumble on it. And I think that's definitely true. And the good example of this is, and I do want to ask this question, have you ever had someone, when you're trying to speak, they finish the sentence or word?
I don't like that. I don't like that though. I don't like it because it like it makes me feel small. It makes me feel like I'm not adequate enough. You know what I mean? Though? Yeah. So yeah, just let me finish my sentence. Like no matter how long I take. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, I don't think sometimes I think that is like with me. I'm not really a violent person, but sometimes you just want to go. Like I just tell them, just wait 2-3 seconds. I'll finish. You don't say nothing. Yeah. So I think we've all faced it, and I literally faced it yesterday. But I think it's at that stage now where, and right now, there's people in front of me right now when I'm recording this podcast. I don't care. I don't care no more. I don't care what this person doing, what that person doing. If I'm doing a motivational speech and I'm walking and doing a video, people can go past me. I don't care. I'm recording right now. I don't care. I may speak to them later on and say, I may speak to them later on and say, sorry, I made a lot of noise doing this podcast. They may be fine with it, they may not be fine with it, but I don't care no more. I got to do the podcast, I got to do the vlog, I got to do all of these things, and there's people always watching. People always want to watch what you are doing. If you're doing something right, if you're doing something wrong, they always have got something to say. So you may as well do what you truly want to do. Go after the dream and respect every single person who you are with. And it doesn't matter if they got a good paying job, if they don't have a good paying job. I try to respect every single person. And I think this might be a bit on the younger demographic side of things, but I think when I started the journey, I was too nervous to speak in front of girls, right? And I think right now I feel more like right now I'm doing the beach, and sometimes I'm doing the motivational speeches, and then when I stop, somebody comes up to me and say, "Oh, how long have you been doing this for? What is your dream?" And I think this recording video, speaking to people like you, speak to Netflix actors, speaking to all these type people, diverse people going after their different dreams, missions, journeys. It just helps with confidence so much. And I think if you asked Dilpreet in December 2020 and before that, he would be shocked because he couldn't speak to no girl. But now he doesn't care no more. He knows that most of the people you see, I think 90% of the people you see, you don't see them until a few months later. So I don't, so I don't care no more. I don't care about how I may be viewed, how I may be presented. I want to do these speeches. I want to speak to people like you. Not, I want to not just inspire people like you, but get inspired by your speeches, which I do. I've been watching your speeches. I've been watching your content, live streams, projects, the collaborations. 2021, we've been together, we've been going strong, we've both been consistent, we've both been just getting after the dream, and I'm really grateful to have connected with you because you're literally like me, but a different country, different culture, different everything. Right. It's just really grateful in regards to that.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dobby, for the words. And also like the point that you mentioned, like right to start there, you said something about not minding about what someone's about not minding not minding about what someone thinks about you, but about any opinions about you and things like that. So like for me, like also like also I saw this quote that said the biggest weight that you can lose is the opinion of is the opinion of people about you. Because why are you trying to please every single person? Why are you trying to accommodate every single person? It's an impossible job to do. It's mission impossible, because think about it in this way also. Like on my side, I'm Christian. I'm Christian, right? And in the Bible, we believe in Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, right? Jesus Christ. And if he is the peak of our faith, and everyone and everyone believes in him. But, sorry, that's a mistake. Not everyone, not everyone, not everyone believes in him. All right, and also not everyone likes him. Not everyone is pleased by him. So, if somebody that's really God, as a God, right? If he can't even please everyone, if not everyone can like him, who do you think that you are to please every single person? Nobody can be on top of, the master, if that makes sense. I don't know if I was trying to bring something about. Yeah.
But it is good you mentioned something about religion. Absolutely, because we spoke about God earlier on. And I definitely agree, because there's nobody in this world that every single person likes. There's nobody like that. For example, Cristiano Ronaldo, people don't like him. Messi, even though he's quiet, people don't like him. There's also sports stars like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. I think he's got a few people who don't like him. And even Shaq, the massive guy. And there's so much people who you may think that every single person likes them, but there's always one person who absolutely hates you. It might be for your actions, it might be for what you believe in, it's what you might have said in the past, it might be your values. There's always someone, or it could be for no reason whatsoever. It could be for no reason whatsoever, but there's always going to be people who doubt. There's always going to be people who don't like you. I think Cristiano Ronaldo said it best. Cristiano Ronaldo said it best. Your love makes me strong. Your hate makes me unstoppable. Unstoppable. And I got that literally as a wallpaper just on my laptop. So I remember that every single day really once in my mind. The question which I'm about to ask you is overused quite a lot. But I want to ask you, I want to hear your response based on what you are passionate about and what you are willing to continue to keep on just improving in to become the best. What is your dream? I am excited, I am hyped to see your answers in the comments below. Let's get back into the episode. Let's go into our dream, our cool, our unique dream, which is not many people have this kind of dream. Not many people are going after this dream. And I've literally only just encountered me, you, and somebody else who is going after this dream. Stuttering motivational speaker with a stutter. Where or how did you discover this dream? How did you discover you wanted to become this? And also, was there a life-changing just event which made you go for this dream and to post videos and to share your journey?
That's a very good question, Dilpreet. So I'm like the main reason or the main events that made me want to become this was because I've seen the evidence, the testimonies of how my words have impacted lives. Like, I always got WhatsApp messages. I've always got people coming up to me saying, "Thank you so much for your words. Your words really touched me." Like, I've spoken to lots of people on many different topics, from heartbreak. I've been personally heartbroken, so I can give you some big advice on heartbreak. On topics across on topics across various walks of life. I've 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 talked on them to people in actual real life, and just hearing how it has transformed them, how it's changed them, how it's impacted their lives, and how I do it so naturally. I don't force it. It's something that I enjoy doing. I can do it from morning until night. Now I don't get tired about it. That's that and that's when I knew that this is what I want to do for my life. And also, like, the nice thing about life is not about how happy you are, but how happy other people can be because of you. And I see that my gift, my speaking, makes so many people happy. And why not do that? Because it's something that also gives me fulfillment, and at the same time it makes other people happy. So why not do this one particular thing? So that's how I figured out this is what I want to do for my life. And also mentioned in the start somehow that I was motivational Ange offline before I was online. And I think that's actually very, very important, because a lot of people think that your purpose is something that you have to look for. Your purpose is actually something it's actually around you. It's within your nose, but you have to pay attention to what it actually is. I'm even sure that that you, Dilpreet, I'm sure, like, somewhere, like, around your life, before you even got to online, you were speaking somehow, even if it wasn't on a massive scale, but you were speaking somehow, because your purpose always finds you before you find it, if that makes sense. So yeah, I hope so I hope that answers your question. Yeah.
Once more, and that's a perfect response, perfect answer, perfect reply. And you mentioned about, I think the best way to describe it is just like just just the obsession, just the, so when somebody is like obsessed. And I found this quote, I literally found it yesterday night, and I was just so scrolling for research purposes, definitely not for procrastinating, or nothing like that. And it was from Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is a podcaster, and he has his own Joe Rogan like experience podcast, and he was with Jordan Peterson, and Joe Rogan said this quote. I absolutely love this quote, and it just applies to what you've said so far. When you are, when, and it definitely goes into it, when you are just like obsessed, when when you are like obsessed with something, you don't require discipline because you can't wait to work on it the next day and the next day. To say it just one more, just in a bit more flow, when you are obsessed with something, you don't require discipline because you can't wait to work on it the next time, the next morning, the next day. And that definitely applies to you, what you just mentioned, because you just said you have that willingness, you have that drive to every single day speak, to inspire people, to motivate people. And it's that just obsession right there to make that kind of positive like impact.
Good intake, Dilpreet.
Thanks, Ange. And I just wanted to say one thing, one like aspect which I've noticed through all of the years of watching your content is one thing I have noticed, which you are constantly like improving and getting better in, is your articulation.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is you have a really creative mind. You can think of things. So like when I watch a video, you say 4, 5 things, 4, 5 examples like that, like that, like that. Easy, easy, easy. And when I watch it, and the same thing in the comments, you comment with 4, 5 different examples. And one question which I like always have is, how does he make up these things like that in like 2, 3 seconds? He uses this example, then he goes to a different example, then he links it. And then I just wanted to ask, how do you find it so easy to think and say these examples so with like ease? How like did that come from your past, something which you've learned? Was you exposed to people who can like improvise well? How did that come just about? Because you right now in this podcast right now, you have mentioned like 12, 13 different like examples. So I want to know this because it's something which I need to work on.
And I think with that question, it's a very big question. I'll try my best right now to narrow it down as much as I can. So, yes, like the one thing is, I'm very, very critical of myself. Yes, critical. Yes, that's the word. So, I like to use constructive criticism from the outside and from the inside. So, whenever I speak, whenever like I write or I take something, always ask for somebody to listen to me speak and read and also like to read what I wrote down, so that they can tell me, oh, Ange, you could have added this here. Oh, Ange, you could put this here, put this here, put this here. You know, when you give yourself self criticism and you also accept external criticism, you are able to add things upon yourself. You're able to build yourself up. You're able to add level to yourself, if that makes sense in a way. And so also, like, when I speak, I don't think I've told somebody this, but when I speak, I always use I think it's a 4-step. No, it's a 3-step formula. So always state my reason, state the topic. I always give an analogy, and number 3, I give an example to tie to that analogy, and And in that way, I've always got a flow. I always got to, and always know how to how to combine things, how to mix things. And even sometimes I will reverse the flow. I'll start with an example, go to analogy, then take the topic. But if you got a step-by-step process on how you speak or how you write, you can always mix the order around. It doesn't really matter because you can still drive home your main points. So I think that is step one. Get constructive criticism from the outside and from yourself. And like, don't lie to yourself. Tell yourself, oh no, the Ange, over here, you could have said this. Over here, you could have said that. You know what I mean? Be honest with yourself. That's the best way to grow. Because sometimes honesty can hurt, but it's needed for your growth. If that makes sense. So that's it. So yes. So step one is to accept constructive criticism from the outside and from the inside, and to have a step-by-step process on how you speak or how you write. That always works. Number two, I would say to read. I read a lot of books. So that's how I pick up like massive words. Whenever I speak or I write, someone always tell me, how do you know so many big words? How do you use these massive words in English? And I always tell them it's reading. And also, like, when you also read how someone else articulates their own thoughts. And then from there, and then once you read about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books, now you've got 5 different books from 5 different authors, and all express themselves, yes, in different ways. And now what you can do is you can take some spice. I call it spice. Spice as in take some technique from each person, and you put it in your own pot and add your own spice and mix it. And now you have your own level of thinking. You see? Yeah. So that's number two. Read some books because when you see how someone else thinks, you can also try and not like copy and paste it. No, don't copy and paste it. Just take some ideas on how they think and mix it around and into your own flavor, if that makes sense. And then number three, and this is like the biggest one I can say is number three, because number three would be to listen to somebody that you want to be like. Example, I listen to other speakers. So, for example, I know this guy called Trent Shelton. I'm not sure if you know him. Yeah, so like the way he speaks, I like his style. It's I don't know like how to say it, but it's a style that you can be very relaxed in, because like he speaks, and also gives you examples, and yeah, and that style of speaking, like, I like it so much because it's easier to understand a message when you speak and you give examples. So like, listen to him, as well as some other speakers that I'm not sure of the names, but I know that they are a speaker. But like, name that I know the most is Trent Shelton, because I follow him on Instagram. Yeah. So step one, is to step one is to yes, to always take in constructive criticism from the outside and from the inside, and have and have a and have a step-by-step process on how to speak. Step two is to read, so you learn how to mold your thoughts. And step three is to listen to any speaker. No, and step three is to listen to somebody that you want to aspire to be like. So I think that's how, and using step one, two, and three has really helped me to write better and to speak in a way that and to speak in a way that I feel that I'm content at right now. I'm happy with right now. So I hope that answers your question, Dilpreet. Yeah.
That's a lot of value once more. And I think that will not just support me, but if there is anybody who wants to improve their public speaking, they don't have to be full-time speakers, but for people who have to speak for presentations, for pitches, that framework is perfect. So if you are watching right now, make sure to write it down, bookmark it, record the video. That is gold right there. Those three steps look perfect, because right now I think I'm doing three the most, which is looking at other speaks and learning from them and studying from them, because I go more into Tony Robbins, Jay Shetty, those kind of individuals are more like in right now. But I'm definitely going to look more into Trent Shelton, because I've seen his videos. He has a very calm and more of a like younger, like a way of speaking which attracts the younger people and audiences. But that framework is perfect. So I'm going to make sure to record this video and write it down when I re-watch it. Thanks, Ange. Awesome. Awesome. And yeah, I got one more question for what I had planned, and then I want to go through one of your questions here as well. But let's first ask, this may be a bit deep, maybe, but on what stage do you think you are in your journey so far? On what stage?
What stage do I think I am right now? Like as a human being, we can plan things. We can say by this month I want to be here. By next month I want to be here. We can plan, but God decides. Yes, but God decides. Yeah. So right now, I wanted to like to be much further than what I am right now. I wanted to I've obviously amounted to a massive following right now. Because if I had a massive following right now, I can easily now diverge into many different avenues. I can now start maybe something called let's say Mondays of Ange. You know what I mean? And then like hire like a place and say, come around for 1 hour of motivational talks. You see, because once you got a certain amount of following, you can do more things. You can diverge and everything like that. So right now, I'm not where I want to be, but I believe I'm where God wants me to be. If that makes sense. So I can be mad and say, God, why this year? I haven't taken off, but God knows when, And the thing about this is I don't even do it for the likes. I wouldn't even do it for the follows, because when I look at my my um my like ratio, it's it doesn't match up with how many, it doesn't match up with how many people that follow me. It's like over 1,000 followers on Instagram, but the like ratio is like, I don't know, maybe like 5 or 10 here and there. But somebody that does it mainly for the clicks, for the likes, they will easily stop a long time ago. And like the main reason why I'm still doing it is because I genuinely have it in my heart to keep doing it. So yes, in my eyes, I'm not where I want to be, but in God's eyes, I'm where He wants me. Yes, where He wants me to be right now. And yes, there's also like many other things that I'm doing, like at the moment, like besides all of this features I make on Instagram, and yeah, I'm also doing I think I started in 2022 with something that with something that I call, what I call it again? I call it Motivational Ange short forms. I think like you've seen some of my forms, yes. So it's also something that I'm doing more and more and more, because I also feel like, because in the world there's many issues, and I think like a nice way of also getting like the message across is to make like a film. Everyone in the world enjoys a nice movie, so I think from time to time I'm gonna make a movie all the time, and make a movie like at least once a year, and also, yeah, I've got one coming out in about 2 weeks time. It's coming out. It's something that I've worked on, and yeah, it's gonna be good, man. And I'm also an author, but and it's coming out also soon. I'm not gonna say when, but it's soon. All right. So yeah, like, don't seem like your question. I'm not where I want to be, but I believe I'm where God wants me to be. We plan, but God decides. Yeah.
That's a very different answer, because when I've asked the guests which came on previously, they just always say we are just at the start, we are just learning. So that's a totally different answer, and I like it a lot because it's lots of transparency, lots of just like honesty as well. So I really value that answer right there.
Thank you, Dilpreet.
And I'm really excited to see that movie, because I remember you did one last year, and it was interesting to see because it's something different and it's long form, and you have to coordinate. You have to make sure the message is right, the timing is right. And I reshared it last year because it was good, and I believe this year it will be bigger and better. Right?
Yeah.
Awesome. And I just wanted to do this because for everyone who is watching right now, and before the podcast episode, he sent me this massive message with so much questions on. And I said to him, and I've got it here, but I will show a visual of it in the actual episode. But just some questions to potentially ask. But I wanted to just ask one question, which is, and I really like this one. Who has the most like influence on you in your life? Who has the most like influence on you in your life? That is the only question I want to ask from that packed value
No problem.
questions, 20, 30 questions. And I was like, I have to ask one before the podcast ends. So who has the most like influence on you in your life?
What influence in my life? That, that's a question that I want to answer in two ways. So in my life, I would say it's my mom, my dad, and it's God. But I will tell you now how God came into that equation. And also like in life, it's usually the boy with the mom, the dad with the girl most of the times. And for me, I'm a mom's boy, naturally like that. And my parents, as a child, the first people that you encounter in life are your parents. And who you become in life is based on your parents. It's based on the lessons, the values, the wisdom, the information that they pass into you. So everything that I am right now is a product of my mom and dad. How I'm very respectful is because of my mom. How I'm able to lead is because of my dad. How I'm able to let's be a well hardworking, obedient individual in every aspect and dimension of my life is due to my parents because my parents have shaped my past in life. They have shaped my how do I say it? They basically shaped the person who you are right now. Yes, I've got my own brain to think. I've got my own brain to say this is right from wrong. This is this, that is that. But the people that have the most influence on me, the people that can tell me something and actually take it to heart, listen to it, is my parents. There's some people in this world that if they say something in your face, you're like it doesn't mean that much to you. But when it comes from somebody that saw you from nothing until you become something in life, that goes in your heart. So the people that have the most influence on me is my parents, but more my mom, because yeah I'm yeah because I'm very much with my mom most of the time. It's just like how it is. Boys with the mom, girls with dad. It's just how the world works. All right. And also, what do I want to say now? I lost my train of thought. Give me 5 seconds, or give me 5 seconds. Oh yes. And also, my parents introduced me to God. and and that's something that I'm very, very happy about, because lots of things in my life right now, if I didn't know God, I don't think like I'll still be doing what I'm doing right now. I don't even think Ange will still be here, because there's many times where I've had thoughts that wasn't have thoughts that wasn't even cross somebody's mind, but when you know God, you know that with God, nothing can 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 nothing can sorry, hold on. Nothing nothing can stand against you. With God, every everything everything is possible. So who has influenced me like the most in my life is my parents. And because of my parents, I've come to know God, and because of God in my life, I'm 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 very, very I'm very, very confident as a person in who I am and in where I'm going tomorrow. Because like I say this, I think like the main reason why so many people in this world just give up on themselves, they just lose hope, is because they don't know that it's because they don't know that something powerful exists up here. You gotta know that, because once you know that something powerful exists up there, you'll know that you're you're never alone, and everything in your life is just a trial. Is just a test that it's just a test that it's just a test that you got to go through. So that's basically it. So it's my parents and it's God.
That's a really nice response. I really like how you mentioned parents, because yeah, I think it is everybody's dream to make their parents proud, right? That's how it is, and I believe we will make them proud. We just got to keep on pushing and just not give up or quit. We have to guard it with so much passion, relentlessness, persistence, and we will make them really proud if we keep on going. We definitely will, and that's definitely great people to keep in your mind to stay motivated and so on. So thanks for sharing that so much, because I do want to make my parents proud so much as well, and it is a similar story. You learn from them, you keep them in your mind, and then you become unstoppable.
Like Dilpreet. Now, but Dilpreet, not thank you so much for the like the invites and everything. And there's something that there's something that I would like to say from my heart, and I want you like to listen and hear every single word. All right, yes. Where do I start? So, Dilpreet, trans your trans your transparency, yes, has led to my transformation. Because when I came online, yes, I know that I stutter and and everything like that. like I know how to deal with the like the hates and the comments and people mocking me and things like that. But I was just for some reason I chose to not want to show that side of me on the internet. But something always told me, like my mind, that Ange, once you get big, you're going to eventually show yourself out to be a person that's obviously status, right? So why not just be authentic in the entire process? And then but like I kept posting like what I'm posting like posting like my videos, but I was cutting out like the parts where I obviously started. And so I saw you. I saw and you never cut out like the parts where you started. But then when I watched your podcast with, I think it was Jordan Hawk, yes. And then like I saw that you also mentioned this in a video. And then once I saw you like doing it in real life, actually talking without hiding that imperfection, that moved me to start now actually doing the same thing. And I think you made a comment some time ago where you were like, Ange, do you actually stutter? And I felt guilty about that. I was like, damn. I was like, you called me out. You said, Ange, Ange, do you really stutter? Because when you watch my videos, you didn't see like anyway where anyway where I started. That's because I obviously cut it off. But now when I saw your level of vulnerability, that moved me to start being also vulnerable, openly vulnerable, because your vulnerability can actually be now an inspiration to somebody else. Your vulnerability can actually now be a point of contact for somebody who know that despite my imperfections, I'm still here. I can still, yeah, I can still do this thing, you know. But so thank you so much for your tr- transparency, because it has led to my transformation. And like right now, like I don't mind leaving the parts where I started in the video. It is what it is. And yeah, man, Dilpreet, thank you very much, man. Your transparency has really led to my transformation. You have showed me that being vulnerable is actually being vulnerable is actually a superpower that once you master it, you can impact many lives. And I'm one of the lives that you've impacted. So thank you very much, brother.
And I just want to say, I didn't expect that just at all. I do want to really do want to say thank you. I really do value all those kind words, genuine support, and just for noticing what I've been doing, because I just I'm I am truly at a loss for words because at the start in my videos I did cut out the parts in which I stuttered, but
Yeah,
but you had that like effect on me to be more genuine there. So to be honest, it worked quite like the like opposite way because I seen your content and I thought I can't cut out normal words or parts. I got to be more authentic with it. So you pretty much inspired me to take this type of approach because I genuinely believe if I genuinely believe if you didn't reach out to me, I would still be cutting out words. I truly think that. So I think you had that effect on me, but it's really refreshing to see that you seen my videos and you wanted to not cut it out, but I saw your videos and I thought not to cut it out. So it's so weird, but I think we both inspired each other there, and wow, I didn't expect that. And I just want to say, and thank you for coming on this podcast episode. I really wanted you on. You was planned to be in my first three, but now you're the fifth guest. But that's absolutely, but that's absolutely fine. Incredible episode. I really wanted this podcast episode because you are literally so similar to me in terms of dream, where you are going, your goals, your like objectives, your consistency, how much you want to improve, and you want to spread that positivity as well, and also the like authenticity. It's so incredible. I'm so grateful to have you on the podcast. I do appreciate your time because I know you are in a different country and there's the time difference, so I do value you for coming on. Is there, and I want to give the stage to you right now. Is there any words you want to give to the like audience or anything else you want to say?
anything else I would like to say? Thank you. First of all, thank you so much, like, for the kind words, Dilpreet. It's means a lot, and everything. Yeah, it means a lot, man, and everything along those lines. And just like as you said, man, I'm very very happy that you cross paths and everything. It was just meant to be, man. You know what I mean? Like everything happens like for like everything everything happens for a reason, and I'm glad that this happened. And if I could give one piece of advice to the audience before we leave here now, I would say this: it's two pieces of advice, two pieces. Don't be afraid to fail. That's number one. Don't be afraid to fail, because I feel like if you're so scared to fail, you limit yourself to so much in life. You reduce the height in life that you can climb, because because in my eyes, how I see what failing is not even trying at all. That is failing in my eyes. And every time that you try and it doesn't work, like it doesn't mean that you've failed. Like you didn't fail at all. When you fail, you stop trying. I think there's this person is called Thomas Edison, and he was he was doing his best to try and make lights. Yeah, a light bulb. And he tried multiple times. I think he failed about 999 times. But in people's eyes, that's called failing. No, he tried 999 times, and then on the 1,000th time, he finally made a light bulb. You only fail when you stop trying. So don't be afraid to fail, because if you're afraid to fail, you limit the level of heights you can reach in life. And number 2, we all breathe in oxygen every single day, but that's common. What makes you special is the fact about what you do while you've got oxygen in your lungs. So every single day when you wake up, you've got 2 options. Let the world hear your greatness, or let the world silence your greatness. Make the world hear your greatness. Because one day you don't want to go to the grave with stuff left inside of you that was basically meant to be born in the world. Thank you, Dilpreet.
Thank you for that, and yeah, for everyone who is watching, you can follow Ange on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and also the Spotify podcast as well, right, Ange?
Yeah. But on that podcast, yeah, I'm doing my best to also try and also do some stuff there. But on the podcast,
Awesome.
you can. I've only got one thing up there yet, but yeah.
Brilliant.
Man.
That's awesome. And I'll make sure I'll put all the links in the bio, all in the description. Make sure to follow him, check him out, to support him, because he's going after the same dream as me. Make sure to check his content out. Absolutely incredible. And I just want to say, Ange, who would have thought we would have been here? Because 3 years ago we just met. We didn't know 2 collabs would have came from this one podcast episode, and maybe next time in the future we'll both be on stage together. 50,000 people, 100,000 people. Let's go out there and do it.
True, man. Thank you very much, Dilpreet, man. I really had some fun, and I hope I give you guys so much worth and value and everything. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ange. Thank you. And that's it. An incredible episode with an epic, awesome, fascinating guest. There's so much hidden gems and nuggets inside this incredible episode. Make sure to follow Ange with his journey. All of his relevant links to his social media platforms are below. There's only one thing to say, which is episode 6 done. Shoot your shot.